Hello everyone, it's me again, but back with another video that is very important. Long story short, this is a Life Matter video. The date range for this Life Matter video ranges from May and June of 2020 to about May and June of this year. This video contains stories of abuse, abusers, and political crap. Something I promised myself to not do when doing videos on YouTube. If you are one of the people who know what I'm going through, then you already know what the story is. If you are not one of the people whom I've already told the story to, buckle up because it's going to be a very, very wild ride from here on out. The names of those who assisted me through my hardship and the names of the abusers have been kept quiet or have been changed to keep their identities. May 2020. I was talking with a friend, a like-minded individual, about moving out of my parents' house. That way I could start my life. Then June came around, whereas me and a friend finally had an apartment of our own. We wanted to start our lives through film industry, try to do animation or videos to be put into film, actual movie releases, or television series. At the time, we shared a common enemy. That was a person from who had an interest in doing questionable artwork. We had some good times, we had some laughs, we had some good moments, shared the same interests. But then things started to take a dark turn starting in October. He was out of a job, and he had no mode of transportation, no way to make money. He wasn't violent, he wasn't beating me all the time, but there was something far more worse than just physical pain. He started hating minorities, groups, social justice warriors because, well, they're social justice warriors. He hated movies. He started watching these YouTube videos made by other people on the subjects and made them his own thoughts. And once I came to the conclusion that something was up, I did the only knowledgeable thing to do some digging on the subject, namely my roommate. As far as I can tell, my roommate constantly acted like he was the center of attention, like he was more important than others. He focused on himself, his own career, his own reputation, and he treated the people, my friend at the time, though questionable he may be, like dirt. That wasn't the only thing. He thought that women were only meant to be breedable by men, by constantly having pleasure, by needing pleasure. He believed that the earth was flat. He kept demeaning minorities in derogatory means. He was a Trump supporter. Therefore, believing that if he was in Washington at the time, he would have joined the masses and stormed the Capitol. Now, I know, it's a fresh wound that we have to dress carefully, and that I promised myself not to do political topics on this channel, but it has to be said about my roommate. He made me draw thumbnails of his beliefs for his YouTube channel, and publicly, openly, tweeted my profile name to the masses of his followers, saying that I drew the thumbnails, when I didn't want to be pulled into the political mess that he was wanting to get in. Though his statement was true, I did draw the thumbnails, because at the time, friends help each other out. But then, things started to rub on me the wrong way. Things sounded off, very off. I kept saying no. And he still persisted that I draw thumbnails for him. I accidentally interrupted a conversation between him and his friends, and he bit my head off. He had guns in his home. A shotgun with slugs and shot, and an M9 Beretta pistol with hollow tip points. He had knives, and the worst part, he did drugs. Not meth or cocaine, just weed, CBD. Because it was legal, he kept referring to himself as his original character, who was a genie. When I had thoughts to leave, the only thought in my head was ask my friends for help first. Because I didn't want to make the wrong decision, and I wanted my friends to be a part of this big decision. We met secretly. I presented my case to my friends, and they suggested that I leave, that this is becoming dangerous to do. When it came to that, I asked Mai if she thought it was a good idea to leave, and she said yes, that it was a good time to leave because he has become dangerous, he is becoming a threat, he is just being plain dangerous. And before I left, I told of what he had become, and she agreed that she didn't know him anymore as well, and she supported my decision. March of 2021, I moved out of the apartment and moved back in with my parents. I was so glad to be back with them that I almost cried. Several months later, I received information from that my now ex-roommate, at the time when I fried his computer, threatened to break my arms and legs, and after that conversation was said, he told his friends that I had shown my true colors, and wanted to ask his friend to see if I could pay his half of the rent. Here's how I responded to this situation. I allowed Mai to pay for the rent, but this will be the only time that I will pay the rent. Any more requests for money will end up with a definite no. Because 1, I do not have the money, and I cannot keep on continuing to do this, lest I end up in debt. Second reason, he wants me to grovel at his knees, at his feet, begging him, trying to keep me in his life. The second reason is that this will be the final time I will be able to help him. If he ends up on the street because he can't pay the rent, that is on him. I have made efforts to move forward away from his lifestyle, away from his narcissism, misogyny, and racist behaviors and tendencies. True, there are his own beliefs, but I do not align with those beliefs. I do not agree with his choices. I do not agree with his beliefs, his standings on politics. People are people. To quote a Dr. Seuss book, a character from a Dr. Seuss book, Horton, in Horton Hears a Who, and I quote, "A person is a person, no matter how small. I said what I meant, and I meant what I said." End quote. Thank you all so much for trying to listen to me. I just wanted to make this video just to make things clear about where I stand and where my problems were. Sometime during the summer I'll try and make more videos, but one can only hope. But for now, I'm just glad that I can talk my feelings out here and you guys will have my back. Good luck, and I wish you well.